So my Visual Studio IDE makes it extremely easy for me to implement methods that are written in a test-driven development style and then be placed in the right location. So I can use my IDE, and then it's going to allow me to correct what I need to do. And so you can see now I can create a method in the appropriate page, which is exactly what I want to do. And I know that Java and many other IDEs allow you to do the same thing. So we did that, and now we just need to implement it. And so resuming the user interactions course, that involves what? That involves clicking a button. So let's go back to our website, and then let's spy on this resume course button and see what that's about. So looking at this DOM, I think I'm actually going to use this href property in order to be able to click on this button. We can go really deep into why we would want to utilize different kinds of locators. There are many different kinds of tutorials on that, but that's not the purpose of this course. So I'm not going to get really deeply into why you should use one locator over another. I'm going to utilize XPath. So I'm just going to test out my XPath condition down here in Chrome Developer Tools. Awesome. So that's my XPath condition. We can see that it's identified one of one buttons. If I hover over it, I can see that it's the exact one that I want. So I'm going to grab this XPath. I'm going to go back to our IDE. And now I am going to implement this method. It's complaining about my resume user interactions course button. So I'm going to create a property. It's going to be a iWeb element. And then I'm going to return by XPath. There's our XPath. Of course, it doesn't like the semicolon. Awesome. So here's our element. And I'm going to move this up to the top so it stays closer to all of the other locators. There you go. So now this works excellent. However, we have a problem here in that we need to click this button, which is going to take us to another page. So we need to implement that here and return a, let me see what we were calling it here, a user interactions course page. User interactions course page. And of course, that doesn't exist. So I'm going to use my IDE to go ahead and create a type called user interactions course page, which is fantastic. And of course, all we need to do now is return in this method a user interactions course page and pass in a driver. And of course, the user interactions course page is going to complain that it doesn't have this constructor implemented. So again, using our IDE, it's really simple to create this constructor. And the constructor is pre-created for me. What I'm going to do here is assign, just like up here, I'm going to have a property that stores our driver. And then I'm going to assign the driver to our variable that's passed in. And now we have our user interactions course page. What I'm actually going to do is move this to its own class so that now, if we look here, we have our user interactions course page that has been added in our page objects folder. And now let's go back to our test and see what's left to implement.